Oh, okay. So we got PhoeniX playing as British, and then Giant Turtle playing as the Inca. So we got an Inca versus British. Always a fun matchup to see. Basically, both civs have very strong houses, right? The Incas got the Concha house, which trickles food, and then the Brits get the Manor house, which gives you a free villager. So, two civs have really lived to build a ton of houses, a lot of real estate. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if Inca can beat the Brits or vice versa. One thing that the Inca is doing, which we see a lot of builders of Inca do, build a Tombow. Tombow is just a stronger trading post that already starts out with a range attack on it. So it costs about looks to be 250 wood, right, for a Tombow. So you need a little bit of extra wood to afford it. And then you also have to build your Concha house, so you can get some population and then get a trickle of about 0.6 food per second. So yeah, it will be very nice to see here if the Inca can hold off the Brits here. It also depends a little bit on what the Inca's game plan is going to be. Are they going to fight it out in Age 2, or are they going to go for a fast fortress? We've seen a ton of Inca fast fortresses for this tournament. We've seen a ton of people try to go for that quick age up, and then go for some very powerful Huerica fighters, going for some of those more elite troops later on. So we'll have to see. Is that what the Inca are going to do? Or are they going to try to fight out with Jungle Bowmen early on to try to beat the Musketeers of the Brits? We'll see. From what we remember from this tournament, PhoeniX has been a very powerful Brits player. He knows how to build up his manor house numbers very quickly, and then overwhelm his opponent with 2 or more barracks and then a stable. So he's a very formidable opponent here. Right, so PhoeniX is getting his first food treasure over there, it looks like, near his base. He's got about 400 food right now, about halfway to aging up, which is quite good. In terms of his deck, pretty normal deck, honestly. You know, you got your 3 villager card here, and if you do happen to get enough XP to get a second shipment in Age 1, you can go for the 2 villager card after that. Right, it's also an infinite card, so if you run out of all the other cards in your deck, you can at least send this thing, which is always a good backup. Yep. Everything else looks pretty standard British 1v1, so nothing too much to say there. And let's see. Alright, so Brits are aging up with the Governor. Yep, the Governor. 200 gold in the tower. Inca should be able to age up rather soon. Right about now. Alright, going up with the Wise Woman. Very nice. So that's usually the politician you want to go for first with the Incas, because the Wise Woman will give you some free wood chopping technologies. Yeah, very useful. Gives you a very nice starting economy, which helps you to build your very important building, the Concha house. Since these houses actually cost 170 wood. A lot more expensive than a manor house. A manor house for the Brits, to get a free villager, costs about 135 wood. Right over here. We're actually 141 now. They actually nerfed it a bit in Definitive Edition, by the way. So it's even more expensive now. Whereas the Conch House, 170 wood, because it actually trickles food constantly. So it's doubles as an economic building on top of a population one. So Brits are going to get their tower very soon here. Incas will get their insane wood economy. And then we'll probably see where the Incas go from there, right? Yeah, they're going to start with 700 gold and go for a fast fortress. So they're going to sort of make some military with the Jungle Bowmen. Really is to be seen. Also note that the Incas do get an infinite wood card here, so they can use this as many times as they need to get ahead for their Concha House production, their military, whatever they need it for. Alright, so now we will be seeing which shipment, which card. Right, 3 Tombow card. So that'll allow them to basically take this, as well as 2 of the native sites. From what I can tell on this deck, it's going to be a native deck. This is basically a native deck. So basically what the Incas do is they ship in about 3 Tombow Travois here, try to get all the possible native sites on the map, and then they follow it up with native treaties to get a little bit of each native, right? And then you send this card, American Allies, and then they select a native alliance with it that they can actually train units out of the embassy with that's not on the map. So they can choose the Mapuche, they can choose the Zapotecs, or they can choose the Caribs. All very reliable options that will depend on what they need exactly. So building the second Concha house already, quite good for their economy. Also gives you a ton of nice population as well, 16 population, which is quite good. Let's see where these Tombos go. So one is going to go onto the Apache, and the other's going to go onto a Cheyenne native side, right? Oh no, that one's going to trade route. The Cheyenne is right over here, right? Yep. Just curious where all this stuff is going. Yep. Oh, interesting. So he's actually going to grab the Apache side right over here. Wow, very interesting. So again, a pretty good expansion on the map then, right? Then the Inca player ships in about 6 jungle bowmen as a sort of quick up defense in case the musketeers start rolling down at. Oh, so PhoeniX knows what his opponent is doing, and he's going to try to rush to get rid of these Tombos very quickly using pikemen. Pikemen have a lot more siege than musketeers, so if you want to take out some buildings really quick, it's better to go pikemen instead of musketeers. However, they're going to be more sitting ducks to these jungle bowmen though, since they don't have a range attack. They literally are pretty much forced to just retreat when they're dealing with an archer like that, because the archer will just back up and kite them like crazy. Native treaties has arrived, granting the Inca some Apaches and granting them some Cheyenne warriors there, which is quite nice. Yep. Also going to be sending in native warrior combat. This will beef up the native warriors by about 15% in HP and attack, so it's a very nice combat card to get in Age 2. I'm going to continue training in more Apache riders there to have a nice ranged troop to fight against the British Army with. Good choice overall. Do be careful of that 6 longbowman card that the Brits might send. Could be kind of dangerous. Also, how many dancers does he have on the community plaza? He has 1 villager and then the 3 priestesses. So that's quite good over there. Very solid. Very nice indeed. Good. Alright, so now what we got here is Apache riders, 6 jungles, 2 Cheyennes. Sending in the Chimu runners now, so a bit of hand cav as well. Alright, whereas PhoeniX is doubling down on tons of pikemen, some longbows, and then a few hussars from his stable. Yep. Basically, all the Brits really need to do is make sure they don't die to this mass of natives, and they keep growing their economy. Basically, the Brits, the more you go deep into the game, as long as you have natural resources and some level of map control, you tend to do better and better with all those extra vills. Because eventually, with all 20 manor houses, you're going to have 20 extra vills, more than you normally do with the European civ, and then your economy just flourishes. Right? Also picking up the placer mines tech at the market, the first mining tech, so they can probably afford some more Hussar Q as well. Right? Also shipping in their 6 longbowman card too, so now they're going to have even more longbowmen. Longbowmen taking some free shots at the Chimu runners and actually taking one of them out. Wow. Chimu's going in on their... Okay, so Cheyennes have connected with the Hussars, which is good, because they have anti-cav multipliers. They're sort of like almost like a mounted pikeman in a way. But now the pikemen shove right in to try to knock out all of these shock infantry and cavalry units. There is a nice range support from the Apaches and the jungle bows though. Looks like they do beat the pikemen before all the melee cavs are dead, so they can move on to the longbowmen and take out that group. And now they can move on to the second group that just shipped in from the home city. Does he have enough anti-cav to do with the Hussars though? Yes, he does have a Cheyenne here. He does have a couple of Apaches as well. It looks like PhoeniX does train up some musketeers here, or did he ship those in? No, he trained those up, and now he's actually going to be shipping in 6 more musketeers. That should be quite good. unfortunately, looks like Giant Turtle's a bit bare in army now, and he has to retreat. How many concha houses are you on, brother? About 3. So, about 1.8 food per second. Not bad. But try to get more of them if you can. What can he ship in now? So, he's going to get Sapa Inca. Improves the speed, hit points, and leadership aura of your war chief. Basically makes him a much better unit. Yeah. I don't know. You think that's a good move? I would think that he would maybe want some wood and get some more concha houses up for economy and maybe get a warhead of some kind. Because now, I think you kind of have to get some more jungle bowmen. Especially since your Brit opponent is ready to start pumping in the muskets on you. Which is quite good. Yep, I was talking to Mick Jim. I said, yeah, I think we're moving on to round of 64 now, right? Yep. Alright, and now, got longbowmen going after the bill. Oh, that's not good. Look at that nice range on those longbows. They also have a rate of fire of 1.5, so they shoot very quickly. They're very quick shooting units, so they can shred your stuff very quickly if you're not careful. Alright, so now, and also PhoeniX made some muskets, so he has even more range support. Going Cheyenne and Apache, well, I can't say that that's a good move just because he's got muskets on the field now. That's probably the wrong play. I would have gone in some 600 wood and gotten some jungle bowmen myself, personally, because I know now there are heavy infantry on the field and we do need to take that seriously. Right, you can't just spam a bunch of hand cab and then have them get shredded by the bayonets on these muskets. It's not good. I mean, well, yeah, see, this is the problem. Cheyenne get completely melted. Now your archers are exposed, and then the rest is history. Yeah. Does look like, oh, he converted a Hussar with the Priestess. Very smart, actually. That's a good move. That's going to make his hand cab match a little bit longer lasting. Also trained up some more Apaches from his native site nearby. Unfortunately, he's going up against longbowmen, so not the best matchup, and yeah, he's forced to resign there. Good attempt, though. You know, I've seen Niceas do a ton of Inca plays like that on the Unknown map back in the day. Remember when I did that on the House of the Trading Post stream? That was pretty fun. Seeing him go for like a ton of native setups with Inca native deck. That was pretty neat. So good to see that again. Obviously not as strong on the Great Plains map because it is all cavalry. And all your opponent really has to do, get some skirms, get some muskets, and then it's pretty much dealt with, right? So that's what we saw pretty much there. He is a Brit opponent that really knew what they were doing. Knew, alright, as long as I get musketeers, the Cheyenne shouldn't be able to hurt me as bad, right? And it ended up holding true. So, good move on their part there, basically. And now what we're going to get is, let me see here. This is the second game in this spot, the one on Saguenay. Alright, so in this one, PhoeniX is going Ottomans. And Giant Turtle is going as the French. Interesting matchup. We've seen a ton of Ottomans in this tournament, but it's the first time we see them get played on the Saguenay map. Should be quite fun and interesting. So this map does have trade sockets on it, so you can grab a trading post as part of your standard Ottoman build. Looks like he's already constructing the mosque right now for that XP trickle. And there is the trading post right here. Oh, that's annoying. That's going to hurt Ottoman's trading post timing a bit, because that's going to force him to go down here to building trading posts now. It's clever French there, sticking it right in the obvious spot. Stalling his opponent probably XP delivery. Yep, see? This is how obnoxious this is, because now Ottomans are not going to get this XP delivery, and that's going to slightly hinder their shipping arrivals, which they really depend on as the Ottomans. That's the whole point in building a trading post, is Ottomans as well as the mosque for the XP trickle. It's to basically give you really good unit timing with your cards. since Ottomans are really famous for having very powerful card shipments, very powerful units. Yeah, that's really what they do great at. So if you can hurt their TP building time, it definitely stings a little bit. This trade route gives you about 32 XP per delivery, so yep, every delivery counts. Ottoman is herding in these caribou here towards their base. Probably a good thing to get done ahead of time, so they'll have the necessary food for Janissaries. Quite a good idea. So they'll be starting with 3 Uruk shipment, 3 villagers, and then they might go capitalism, but we'll see, you know. Definitely when you see capitalism first, that's a sign, hey, this is going to be a naked fast fortress. But when it's 3 Uruks first, then it's a little bit more up in the air of what's actually going to happen, right? So, looking deck-wise, we do have the Royal Decree, but we do not have Mosque Construction. We do have counter-war, though. We got 2 galleys and then the frigate in H3. So if French decides to go fish boom, that's going to be punished. Does France have counter-war options? No, they do not. So they better not go for a fish boom, because if Ottomans catch them off guard with galleys and a frigate, could be very dangerous. Yep, so French going up with the Core Master for 400 wood. I would expect the same from the Ottomans. Yes, exactly, 400 wood. It's always a consistent politician to go with, because you can get a lot done with 400 wood. You can get 2 barracks, you can get 2 stables. Obviously, you can build a foundry and a house. Really is up to you, depending on what you need. Alright, so it does pick up capitalism as card number 2 during the Age of Transition. France, what will France start with? Will France go... Well, I can tell you right now, this is a native deck for the French. It's got all the native cards. You got your native warrior combat, your team, French auxiliaries combat, Ancien Regime, Wilderness Warfare, even Native Warriors, the cheapener in H3. So this is a heavily native deck. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ancien Regime as card number 2 and coming out of the gate rushing with Royal Muskets. Is that what we're going to see here, folks, or something a bit different? Yeah, it looks like the French goes for the Huron native site first, and they're probably going to go for the Cree one second. Yeah. So they're probably going to try to push towards getting native treaties here and getting a batch of Crees and a batch of Huron. Oh, there's... Yep. Let's see if he can time this right. So, yep. Does this TP build fast enough to get the Cree trackers? I hope it does. I hope he didn't just fumble that. That would be very sad, because then he might have to cancel this out and send it again. Yeah. Let's see. I'm a little bit worried because he's just reached about almost half the HP now on the structure. Really? Huh. Oh, man. Oh, wow. That's some horrible timing there. Look at that. He didn't build the TP fast enough on the Cree side, and he missed out on getting free trackers. That's insane. That's a waste of a card right there, man. I mean, he did get some amblets, but he missed out on the skirmishers. He literally cut the worth of his card in half by doing that. That is really bad, folks. You want to avoid that. Yeah. Whereas the Ottoman opponent is going double barracks Janissary, a very formidable build on this map. Essentially, it ensures you have a constant supply of high HP muskets, the Janissaries, with their powerful 215 HP. That'll be very dangerous here. And I feel like the French player not getting in their batch of free trackers from the shipment probably hurt them pretty badly there, honestly. They're probably going to regret that quite a bit now. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Very bad. Oh, wait a second. Where did he get these trackers from? Did he have to pay for these? Yeah, he had to train them, I think. No. Yeah, he had to train these guys. Very not good at all. The problem with the Cree trackers is they cost about 80 wood, so unless you have a ton of wood, you probably want to get them for free if you can. Yeah, so looks like now he's going to go mantlets and trackers. pretty good combo against Double Barracks Janissary, because what you do is you got the Mantlets here, which are literally tanks against range attacks, so they're very good against the Janissaries and tanking them. And even the Kree Trackers have 260 HP, so the Kree Trackers on their own can actually tank Janissaries too. So basically, the Janissaries kind of lose their high HP dominance just because these native warriors on the Saguenay map can match them tit for tat with that HP stats. Right, it looks like France will also ship in 700 wood so they can get even more of these natives. Right, now what are we going to see from the Armin opponent? Is he going to stick with Double Barracks Jan, or is he going to try to make a push towards H3 and then try to pop him with Sivahi, Falconet, Mamluk, one of those powerful cards? Looks like he's still queuing up Janissary. He's getting placer mines right now, gradually improving his gold economy. He is going to ship in 3 delis. Delis in this matchup will be great. There is no anti-cav by the French player yet. Not even a hand cav yet. So if you could get some Hussars, or in this case the Armin delis into the mix, the Krees and the Huron are going to have a bit of trouble there. They're going to have to fight those up before they can even deal with the Janissaries. Armin also gets an actual stable and is queuing up delis as well. So they're going to be there with about, 8 delis, 8 hand caps. That's what the Armin player needs right now, because delis can clean this under the rug very quickly. Yeah, delis are very dangerous, you know. They don't have as much HP as a Hussar, but they have a faster rate of attack of 1.2. So they strike very quickly. Yeah, look at what these delis do. He's also taking his Janissaries in the melee as well to just surround the Mantlets and prevent them from being mobile and dodgy and stuff. Wow, look at this. Totally smothers the French native force and wipes it out clean. That is not good. Right, so the French player realizes this and he says, man, I got to get Ancien regime so I can get some royal muskets now. So he's sending that in right now, but I don't think it's going to be good, because now all these Mantlets you just bought, how expensive they are, 100 food, 60 wood, now these are going to be lost for free. You're not going to get anything for this. Look at how bad this is, man. This is like a huge loss. Now he's forced to send in the Midmen. Here comes the Royal Embassy. He could potentially cancel this out if he finds it. Does he see it? You see it, PhoeniX? He sees it. Does he do something about it, though? Alright, so he didn't have enough time to get rid of that, unfortunately. Delis, did they take out a CBD? Wee! Yeah, wee! Another one. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Yep. Bad situation. Alright, so I think Turtle really fumbled that really badly. So number one, he got his timing wrong on the native treaties. Basically denied him the free trackers. And then he made the assumption that the Armin player was just going to go double Jan barracks and not respond to it with Cav or Abyss or something. That was a fallacy right there. I think that was a huge fallacy that cost him the game. What do you think, folks? Do you think that he did some sort of fallacy and disregarding that potential risk? I think he did. I think he could have potentially avoided it by at least getting, you know, I don't know, like a couple pikemen, a musket or two. Well, not a musket or two, but at least get like a batch of pikemen or something. That's like insane, man. That's crazy. Yep, well, good series either way. I mean, PhoeniX played that like a champ, I think. PhoeniX always brings a lot of power to his games, you know.